It's Dr. Bruce Guillory here with Health Source Chiropractic in Atascocita, Texas, and we're coming to you on our video that we send out via email every single week, and probably have this on some social media fronts as well. But I wanted to say hey to you guys. It is Thursday. It is September 3rd today, September 3rd, and this is our last day in the office. I'll give a few announcements here in a little bit about that, but it's our last day in the office for this week. We'll talk about that in a bit. Hope you guys are having a great week and you're winding down toward the holiday weekend, ready for a little 3-day weekend, and hopefully soon some fall type weather. That would be awesome for all of us, I'm sure. Want to talk to you today about sugar. Sugar. That's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about that right now. We all hear how it's bad for us in many ways, but I don't think we quite grasp and understand just how significantly bad it can be for us. I'm going to read a couple things from you on the screen that I have just to the left of my camera here, and I want you to catch this. Okay, this is important stuff. Approximately 60% of our calories, of all the calories consumed in the United States, come from what we call ultra-processed foods, and the poor, the minorities, and the young, and the less educated consume the most of those. Here's another one. Did you know that ultra-processed foods and the food system that produces them are at the root of the chronic diseases that account for 80% of the deaths from non-communicable diseases worldwide, such as heart disease, diabetes, and cancers? Yes, absolutely true. And did you know that for every 10% of your diet that comes from ultra-processed foods, your risk of death goes up by 14%? Pause on that, reflect on that, think about that for a bit. Sugar is a bad dude, and we consume way too much of it in our culture, and there's a lot of big money behind it that causes us to get it shoved into our faces and mouths, I guess, on a regular basis. Get this. This is so important. I want you to pay attention to this because many of you will think, oh, okay, this is approved by the American Heart Association, but you don't always want to trust companies like this. And this is one of my big issues with our world these days. Who do we trust anymore? Who can we trust? There's way too much money behind a lot of these things, including the food industry, and it significantly taints people that we used to be able to trust, like the American Heart Association. According to the American Heart Association, do you know what some things are that they consider to be heart healthy? Twix candy bars. Yeah, Twix candy bars. AHA gives this little stamp of approval, as are Fruit Loops, Cocoa Puffs, and French Toast Crunch. That's a breakfast cereal, right along with the 7 teaspoons of sugar per serving that they bring. It shouldn't be called breakfast. It should be called dessert. When you grind it into a flour, into whether it says whole wheat or not, it's even worse than sugar is. The glycemic index, okay, of sugar is 65, and that of whole wheat bread is 75, which means that bread raises your blood sugar levels more than table sugar does. Bread, even if it says whole wheat, it's worse than table sugar. Not good. And unfortunately, as I say, there's a ton of money behind all of this, a ton of people making a bunch of money and profiting a lot off of our health. And that leads to all these illnesses, all these chronic diseases like we talked about, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancers, yes, cancer, all related to intake of sugar and ultra-processed foods. So parents, here you go. Here's a biggie. Are you feeding your kid? Are you giving your kid fruit juice to drink, thinking that it's healthy for them? Are you giving them apple juice? Are you giving them orange juice? Are you giving them, whatever type of juice it is? Wrong. Bad stuff. And let me just let you know that sugar, when it's in a liquid form, goes into your blood sugar levels, goes into your blood vessels so much quicker and raises those blood sugar levels so much faster. So it's really, really not good for you. So I'm here to tell you today, please, 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 you hear me talk about eating real food, food that used to either have eyes or used to grow on a plant. Please get to using that for real in your life and in the life of the kids that you are responsible for and the grandkids that you're helping to raise too. Help them understand that. And I am not telling you can never, ever have something sweet like that. But we know that when the American Heart Association gives that stamp of approval on whatever it is, that we feel okay about going ahead and eating it or drinking it as it may be. We can't trust those people. They're bought and paid for by the food industry, and the food industry is massively powerful. So please, please, please understand that it's time to take responsibility for what type of food you're consuming. It's time for you to start reading those labels. And the more things that are listed on a food label, the less healthy it is for you. I'm giving you some tips here. The more things that are listed on the food label, the less healthy it is for you. Because food really should only have one ingredient. Food, whatever it is. Banana. Broccoli. That should be it. Hamburger meat. Simple. right? It shouldn't have a list of ingredients with things you can't even pronounce, okay? And I want you to understand something too. When you start looking at those ingredients, it'll never say, and it's supposed to list them as the things that are in most abundant quantity first. So you'll look at the label and you may think, hey, it doesn't say sugar on this label anywhere. But you're missing out on the fact that there's all kinds of names for sugar, and they'll list, let's say, one thing that's not sugary at all, but then the very next thing listed is some type of variant of sugar, whether it's high fructose corn syrup or whatever it may be. And then they'll have 3 or 4 of those listed on there, and they're not at the very top of the list because they've been able to break them down into different types of sugar so they don't have to be listed first. So you start thinking it's healthier for you. No, it's not. If there's so many things in there that it takes a while to read the entire label, please put it back. Please put it back. When it comes to shopping, you should shop around the perimeter of the store where your vegetables are and your fruits are and your meats are and things like that. The real food, because we're killing ourselves with things we eat and drink on a regular basis. We are literally killing ourselves. And if it's not physically killing you, and it actually is, whether you feel it or not, it is altering the quality of your life. It's going to put you and your loved ones in the position where they're having to rely on medications to get through the day, taking 10, 20 pills every single day, something of that nature as you get older. And then those things have side effects too, or they interact with each other and create other problems. That's not the way we want to live our lives. So today, start now focusing on getting rid of ultra processed foods, getting rid of sugars out of your lives, and starting to focus on consuming more of the real foods that nourish your body. Remember, we're either nourishing or poisoning our body when we eat something. There's no in between. We're nourishing or we're poisoning. Which one do you want to do more of? You want to nourish, absolutely. And understand one more thing, folks. If you're feeding your kids fruit juice, if you're letting them drink fruit juice on a regular basis, even if you're cutting it by 50%, it's still poison, folks. If you're having them drink fruit juice, that's no worse. It's the same as giving them a soda, a soft drink. It's exact same thing, loaded with tons of sugar that causes chronic inflammation throughout their body and sets them up for a lifetime of diseases and illnesses. That's not what we want, guys. So I'm kind of a little bit hyped up about this whole sugar thing here because I'm mad about the fact that the big food industry has so much power over an organization that you and I are supposed to trust called the American Heart Association. Yeah, that's just not good. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm jumping off of my pedestal. Boom. And let's give you guys a few announcements. First of all, I said it earlier. Today's my last day in the office until next Tuesday. I always take a 4-day weekend on Memorial Day weekend and a Labor Day weekend. So we're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We'll be back Tuesday afternoon to take care of you guys again. So if you get this soon enough, call 281-852-5600. We can try to get you in before 6 o'clock tonight, possibly if you need an adjustment, okay? Do that. Secondly, I've been so excited about getting in this unit from the company called Mojo Feet so we can start evaluating people's feet and get them fitted for orthotics if they need, et cetera, and just provide a whole nother level of quality service to our community. We got the unit in, and we went to do some training on it on Tuesday. I was so excited because Wednesday I was going to start scanning people's feet. And when we opened up the unit for our training on Tuesday, a significant part of the unit was broken. It had been broken somehow in the process of getting here. Thank you to UPS, apparently. So it's having to be shipped back, and we're going to have to wait for another one. So a little bit of frustration there for us. On a side note, good news. I want to thank you guys so much for referring your friends and family. I know we had two new patients this morning who came in, and they were both referred by you guys. So I want to thank you for that. I appreciate the trust you put in us, and I promise we will always give them our very, very best. And I had a lady in earlier this week, and I was taking care of her, and she's bringing in her 2 sons for me to take a look at too. So excited to do that. I appreciate the trust you place in us on a day in, day out basis, and we're going to do our best to make sure that is a justified trust that you put in us. I promise you that. Other good news. There was one other thing I wanted to, we continue to get fabulous reports from our patients that are using our CBD products. So if you're wanting to pick up a good, high quality, trustworthy CBD product, not something from a gas station shelf or the local place on the street, but you want a trusted source, give us a shout. We've got some good stuff here, both in topical form to rub onto injured areas, as well as a liquid form for those of you who like to take it for whether it's rest or anxiety or things of that nature that it seems to help you with. We'll get you set up with that too. So good stuff happening here, and we're excited to move into the last quarter of the year. Not quite yet. I know that's more accurately, that occurs on October 1st, but I know we're headed that way. We're excited to move in and bringing in these new services and products and being able to reach our community in a lot of different ways and provide the kind of service we like to provide here at Health Source. Anyway, you guys have an amazing Labor Day weekend, but please also be safe. there is still something out there called a coronavirus. And I know, and there's some people who get this via email or whatever, and you're going to think it's fake or whatever it may be. You can think that if you want, but I'm telling you that you need to be careful and let's not have big, huge gatherings, guys. Let's try to avoid that as best we possibly can. We're going to continue to be safe here and keep your safety in mind and the safety of your family in mind by keeping things sanitary and safe here. We're going out of our way to continue working just as hard now as we did back in March, April, May, and June to make everything safe and make everybody feel comfortable coming in to get their treatment. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Take some time to connect with your family and get some rest and some relaxation in so that when you show back up to work on Tuesday, you are showing up at your best. I'm going to do the same. That's my commitment to you. And I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Take care now.